Miroir magique au mur, qui a beauté parfaite et pure?
It was the first Walt Disney feature animated film, the first. And when we look at it now and we screen it, you know, off and on at the studio and study it, and I mean, there's such a wonderful story to it, you know, such a genuine story. It has a Walt Disney storytelling is all over it because there's a perfection in the way the characters interact and are developed, and so that still is so inspiring to us, you know, even though it's hard to imagine that when that movie came out, there was no other animated movie to compare it to. It was the first in many ways.
Well, in those days, it was called, I was the live action model. And they took motion pictures of me doing everything that Snow White did, and a lot of stuff that got cut from the picture too. But in those days, it was really very experimental way because the animators could get all the personality of the dwarves from themselves, and they could get also the animals and things like that, but they could not get the motions of a young girl with the way the dress would flow, the way she would dance with the dwarves, the way she would shoo them off, the way she, all of those things was left. They showed me storyboards, and I just did as many takes as the way they wanted me to with the one camera, 16mm camera, and it was like being in college or working with a lot of college boys. They were very young and inexperienced in this too, but we all learned together. And that was very gratifying. Everybody thought it was Walt Disney's folly because nobody thought it would really go anywhere, that people wouldn't sit still. They loved the silly symphonies. They loved Mickey and Minnie and the Three Little Pigs. I remember I was particularly crazy about the Three Little Pigs when I was growing up. But it did work. It worked from the first night that it was shown. It was a smash. And it better be because they were really in trouble financially.
If Snow White hadn't worked really at the box office, I wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be sitting here.
Or talking about it.
Or talking about it, because that was the foundation to build the studio, the big Walt Disney studio in Burbank. This was all done at a much smaller studio in Silver Lake called the Hyperion Studios. So it really was the base for Walt Disney's dreams and plans for the future.
Blanche-Neige.